Hare Krishna. Hopefully, we are audible now.
Are we audible? Okay.
Thank you. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhattavrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhattavrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhattavrinda.
All glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Lampatena
Vishwambara Nande Vivala Chaturdike Chute Sabha Nayanena Jala. So these two verses, 429 and 430 we read yesterday. This is the when Lord Chaitanya entered the Jagannath temple, he had the darshan of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. And this is the description of that moment. Being overwhelmed with ecstatic love, Vishwambar leapt into the air and tears shot from his eyes in all directions. Shanike Paridahai Anande Murchita Ke Buje Ishwarera Agara Charita.
The next moment he fell to the ground unconscious in ecstasy. Who can understand the unfathomable characteristics of the Supreme Lord?
Agya Parihari Sabha Uthila Marite Ate Vyate Sarva Bhauma Padila Prashtete. As the ignorant guards prepare to beat the Lord. So now these guards which are there guarding Jagannath temple, they were not prepared. They had not seen such a person, such a reaction from any of the visitors. So they were also taken aback. And I think their natural impulse came into the front. They were ignorant to beat the Lord, who was exhibiting such ecstatic symptoms. Sarvabhauma hurriedly threw himself onto the Lord's back. So before anything could hit the Lord, he himself went and covered him.
Yeah, so the guards thought that some mad person has entered, like he's screaming and crying and suddenly fainting. So they were about to take some action.
Hridaya chintena sarva bhauma mahashaya eta shakti manushera kona kalinaya.
Sarvabhauma Mahashaya thought, no human being can ever exhibit such potency.
Evankara garjana premira Yata kicho alaukika shaktira prachara. This loud roaring, this bellowing, and this current of ecstatic love are all exhibitions of extraordinary potencies. E jana hai na bujhi Shri Krishna Chaitanya E mata chinte sarva bhauma ati dhanya.
This person appears to be Sri Krishna Chaitanya. The fortunate Sarvabhauma thought that way. Sarvabhauma Nivarane
Sarva Parihari Rahile na dure sabe Mahabhayakari. Being checked by Sarvabhauma, the guards were frightened and stood at a distance. Prabhu se haiya ache na chetana praya Dekhi matra Jagannatha nija priya kaya.
From the moment the Lord saw the form of his beloved Jagannath, he remained unconscious. So he went in deep ecstasy where he was completely unconscious, completely unaware of the external situations.
Ki anande magna haina Vaikuntha Ishvara वेद होई सब तत्व जानिते दुष्कर. It is difficult for even the Vedas to know how deeply Lord of Vaikuntha merged in ecstatic love. से प्रभु गौर चंद्र चतुर्व्यूह रूपे आपने वसिया आचे सिंहासन सुखे.
That same Lord Gaurachandra was happily sitting on the Simhasan in his quadruple expansion as Jagannath and Sankarshan. So here, Jagannath is sitting on the asan and there Jagannath is unconscious. Is the same person actually.
अपने उपासक अनिकर भक्ति अतएव के बुझये ईश्वरेर शक्ति. अपनार तत्व प्रभु अपने से जाने वेद भागवते ए मत सेवा खाने. The Lord himself became the worshipper and executed devotional service. Therefore, who can understand the potencies of the Supreme Lord? The Lord alone knows his own glories. This is the explanation of the Vedas and the Srimad Bhagavatam. तथापि ये लीला प्रभु करना खाने ताहा कहे वेदे जीवा उद्धार कारणे.
Yet the Vedas describe the pastimes that the Lord performs for the purpose of delivering the living entities. So actually Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is writing that who can understand and who can describe the pastimes what Lord is performing. And yet these pastimes are being described in the Vedas because when we read, so these pastimes have been documented because it gives us a window in the spiritual world. It gives us that sense of longing and that taste for associating with Supreme Lord, for serving the Supreme Lord. And that is how the living entities get delivered.
मग्न होइलेना प्रभु वैष्णव आवेशे बाह्य दूरे गेल प्रेमा सिंधु माझे भासे. The Lord became absorbed in the mood of a Vaishnava. He lost external consciousness and floated in an ocean of ecstatic love. अमरीय सार्वभौमा आचेना आपने प्रभुर आनंद मूर्छा नहाया खंडाने.
Sarvabhauma continued to guard the Lord, whose ecstatic trance remained unbroken.
शेष सार्वभौमा युक्ति करिले न माने प्रभुलाई आई बारे आपना भवाने. Eventually, Sarvabhauma decided to take the Lord to his house. सर्वभौम बाले भाई पाणिहारी गणा सवे तो लीलाहारी पुरुष रतना.
Sarvabhauma said, "Oh, brother gods, please pick up this jewel-like personality."
एक पुरुष रत्न. पांडु विजये रायता निज वृत्य गाना सवे प्रभु कोले करी रगमाना. Lord Jagannath's personal servants who carry the deities to their chariots during the Pandu Vijay ceremony then picked up the Lord and departed. So those who take the deity of the Lord, they are carrying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. के बुझी ईश्वरे चरित्र गहना हे न रूपे सार्वभौमा मंदिरे गमाना.
So till this time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has never been introduced to the Lord. He is not aware of the glories of the Lord. But just by seeing the lakshan, the symptom, he could conclude that this person is somebody extraordinary. He's not a normal person. And that is how he's getting this service to protect the body of the Lord. So who can understand the grave characteristics of the Supreme Lord? In this way, the Lord was carried to Sarvabhauma's house.
चतुर्दी के हरि ध्वनि करिया
Korea.
वही ध्यानेन सवे हरिषहय्या. Those servants all became joyful as they carried the Lord and filled the four directions with their chanting of Hari's names. So Lord was still unconscious. हेनहि समाये सर्व भक्त सिंह द्वारे आसियामि लीला सवे हरिशतरे.
At that time, the devotees arrived at the Simhadwar entrance and became filled with happiness when they saw the Lord.
परम अद्भुत सवे देखिना सिया पिपीलिका गणयेना अन्नयायलया. They all came and saw that supremely wonderful scene, which resembled ants carrying away a lump of food grain. So Lord is being carried by these personal servants of Jagannath who carry Jagannath deity. So they're carrying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they all resemble like ants, carrying the lump of grain.
Tat Prabhure
अनेक लोकधारी लाइया सबे महानंदकारी.
In this way, many people caught hold of the Lord and carried him in great ecstasy.
सिंहद्वारे नमस्कारी सर्व भक्त गणा हरिषे प्रभुर पाचे करिल गमना.
After offering their obeisances at the Simhadwar, the devotees joyfully followed the Lord.
सर्वलोके धारी सार्वभौमेन मंदिरे आनिलेन कपाट पाडिलतांड्रद्वारे. All the people brought the Lord into Sarvabhauma's house, and then the door was locked from within. प्रभु रे आसिया ये दीन भक्त गणा देखी हैला सार्वभौमा हर्षित मना.
Sarvabhauma was pleased to see all the devotees who had come to see the Lord. So Lord had come, and even in unconscious form, Lord was so attractive that he had attracted lot of devotees.
यथ योग्य सम्भाष्य करिय सब सने वसिलेन संदेह भागीरथ तक्षणे. After appropriately greeting the devotees, Sarvabhauma sat down and his doubts were removed. बड़ सुखी हैला सार्वभौम महाशय आरदान रखीब भाग्य फलिर उदय.
Sarvabhauma was Bada Sukhi, most pleased. Who could be more fortunate than Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who's getting the opportunity to do the physical service, Vapu Seva of the Supreme Lord.
यार कीर्ति मात्र सर्व वेदे वाक्य करे अनायासे ये ईश्वर आईला मंदिरे. The Lord, whose glories are described in the Vedas, has now personally come to his house. नित्यानंद देखी सार्वभौम महाशया लैला चरण धूलि करिया विनया. When Sarvabhauma Mahasaya saw Nityanand, he humbly took dust from his lotus feet. मनुष्य दिले न सार्वभौम सबसाने चलिले न सबे जगन्नाथ दर्शने.
So actually these two books, or Chaitanya Charitamrit and Chaitanya Bhagavat, they complement each other and they complete each other. So we have read this description in Madhya Leela in Chaitanya Charitamrit. So these devotees, so whatever is described there is not described here. Whatever is described here is like very briefly described there. So there it is mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaches Jagannath temple and he becomes unconscious, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya brings him to his home. And those 6 devotees who were traveling with him, whom he had told that whether you go in front or I'll go in front. So they reach and they are searching, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not there, and they are searching everywhere. And then somebody told in the temple that, oh, that mad person who was, unconscious in ecstasy and all that. Then they hear that description and they know that this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they started asking people there in Jagannath Mandir that where has he gone? So then they direct him to Sarvabhauma's house. And now what happens in Sarvabhauma's house is Mahaprabhu was lying down and devotees there so that he comes in consciousness. So they were chanting Hari Hari, Hari Bol, and hearing that Mahaprabhu was going in even deeper ecstasy. So he was behaving like they were thinking that, okay, maybe some epilepsy attack has come, or what is happening? Why his body is suddenly shaking, trembling, and then he's again unconscious. And the more they were chanting, the more that was happening. And this was the time when the other devotees enter there, because they get to know and then they come here and then they identify the Lord and then they calm him down, and then Mahaprabhu becomes normal. So this is after that after all that pastime happened, now they are all going to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. So far they have not had darshan of Jagannath because they wanted to have darshan of Gaurachandra before.
ये मनुष्य याया दिखाई ते जगन्नाथ निवेदन करे से करिया एवढा हात. The man who was deputed to take them to see Jagannath folded his hands and appealed to them. स्थिर है जगन्नाथ सबे देखिबा पूर्व गोसाईर माता के गाना करी.
So they are warning or requesting him, Sthir hai Jagannath. Matlab, you please be composed. Sabai dekhiya, when you all are having darshan, please be composed. Purva Gosair, like that Gosai who had come, Purva Gosair mata keha na kari, but don't do like that last, your leader, that Goswami ji has done. Don't do like that. Please maintain your composure.
की रूपा तुम्हारा किचु न परिभुजिते स्थिर है देखा तबे आई देखाई ते. I cannot understand what kind of persons you are. If you remain peaceful while seeing Jagannath, then I will take you. ये रूपा तुम्हारा करी लेना एक जाने जगन्नाथ दैवे रही लेना सिंहासने.
It was by the arrangement of providence that Jagannath remained on his Simhasan after what your companion did. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the way he was behaving, even the normal people, they were thinking that Jagannath could tolerate, Jagannath would have come. So somehow Jagannath remained composed in his Simhasan after what Mahaprabhu has done.
विशेष बाकी काही ये देखी न थाना से आछाड़े अन्ये रखी दे रहे प्राण. What more will I say? Everyone who saw him fall forcefully to the ground thought that he could not survive. So we heard previously that how he leaped and tears were coming from his eyes and he fell onto the ground. So everybody thought, they had that feeling that, this devotee may not survive. And if such a thing will happen, then, there's an elaborate process. They will shut down the temple. They will do so many other things. So this is what he is talking about. एतेके तुम्हारा सब चिंत्य कथाना संवरीय देखी बाकरिलु निवेदना.
These topics are beyond my understanding. Therefore, my request is that you should all control yourselves while taking darshan. Matlab, this is my desire that please, have some self-control.
शूनि सबे हासी तेना भक्त जना चिंता चिंता नाही बली सबे करिल गमना. On hearing his words, the devotees began to laugh. They told him, "Don't worry," and departed. आसी देखी लेना चतुर व्यूह जगन्नाथ प्रकट परमानंद भक्त वर्ग साथ.
They went to the temple and saw Chaturvyuh Jagannath, who is the source of all transcendental happiness and who is accompanied by his devotees.
देखी सबे लीलेना करिते क्रंदना दंडवत प्रदक्षिणा करेना सपना. When the devotees saw Jagannath, they began to cry. They offered their obeisances, circumambulated the Lord, and then recited prayers. Prabhu Galara Mala Brahmananiya Dinena Sabara Gale Santoshita Hayya.
The Brahmana priests happily brought Lord Jagannath's flower garlands and offered them to the devotees. So the Mahaprasad garlands were given to the devotees who had come for darshan.
Agyamala Payyasa Santoshita Mane Aila Satvara Sarva Bhaumera Bhavane. Having received the Lord's mercy in the form of his garlands, the devotees joyfully returned to Sarvabhauma's house. Prabhura Ananda Murcha Aila Ye Mate Baya Nahi Bhile Kaha Chena Se Mate.
The Lord remained unconscious in ecstasy. He did not display even a tinge of external consciousness.
Vasiya Achena Sarva Bhauma Padatale Chaturdike Bhakta Gana Rama Krishna Bale. Sarvabhauma was sitting at the Lord's feet, and the devotees chanted the names of Rama and Krishna on all sides. Achintya Agamya Gaura Chandrena Charita Dina Prahare Obaya Nahi Kadachita.
The characteristics of Gaurachandra are inconceivable and unfathomable. He did not regain external consciousness even after 9 hours.
क्षण के उठिला सर्व जगत जीवना हरिध्वनि करिते लागिल भक्त गण. After a while, the Lord, the life and soul of the universe, regained external consciousness. Sarva Jagat Jivan, he is unconscious
For 9 hours.
for 9 hours. And now he's regaining external consciousness. And the devotees began chanting the name of Hari.
Hari Hari.
Sthirahai Prabhu Jigyasena Savastane Kaha dekhi aji mora kona vivarane.
The Lord peacefully asked everyone, "Tell me, what happened to me today?" So yesterday we were reading that how Mahaprabhu took 9 hours to reach the place which could be reached in 1.5 hours. Today Mahaprabhu went in such deep ecstasy that he was unconscious for 9 hours. And now he's asking, what happened?
Sheshe Nityananda Prabhu kahite lagila Jagannath dekhi matra tumi morcha gela. Nityananda Prabhu replied, immediately after seeing Jagannath, you fell unconscious. Daive sarvabhauma achilena sehi sthane dharito manilena apana bhavane.
By providence, Sarvabhauma was present there at the time. He caught hold of you and brought you to his house.
Ananda aveshe tumi hai paravasha Vayana janila tina prahara divasa. You were so overwhelmed in ecstasy that you did not regain consciousness for 9 hours. Hey Sarvabhauma Namaskarena Tomare Ate Vyate Prabhu Sarvabhaume Kole Kare.
this Sarvabhauma offering you, this is Sarvabhauma offering you obeisances. This is the first time when Mahaprabhu was seeing Sarvabhauma, because he did not see Sarvabhauma, he saw Jagannath and he fainted. So the devotees introduced him. The Lord then hurriedly embraced Sarvabhauma.
Prabhu bol Jagannath bada kripa maya anile namore sarva bhaumera alaya. The Lord said, Jagannath is most merciful, for he brought me to the house of Sarvabhauma. Parama sandeha chitte achila amara ki rupe paiva ami sammati tomara.
I was greatly anxious about how I would attain your association.
So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had heard about Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had heard about Sarvabhauma, and here they were meeting each other. Krishna taha purna kari lena anayase eta bali sarva bhaume chahi prabhu hase.
But Krishna has easily fulfilled my desire. After speaking these words, the Lord looked at Sarvabhauma and smiled.
Prabhu bale shona aji amara kyana Jagannath asi dekhi lana vidyamana. The Lord then said, "Come here, what happened to me today? I went and saw Jagannath. Jagannath dekhi chitte haila mara. Dariyani vaksha majhe tui apanara."
When I saw Jagannath, I had an urge to grab him and embrace him to my chest. So now Mahaprabhu is describing actually what happened to him.
I think that is hearing this description now we can actually understand why the guards were so anxious and why the devotee taking Nityanand Prabhu and others was so much, you don't behave like the previous Gosai. Dharite ge nama matra Jagannath ami tabe ki hai na sheshe arana hi jani.
But before I went
After
I went to embrace Jagannath, I don't know what happens. This was his intense desire to grab Jagannath, to embrace Jagannath, and he proceeded and he doesn't know what happened next. Daive
Sarvabhauma aji achila nikate ataiva raksha haina e mahasankate. By providence, Sarvabhauma was there at that time. So I was saved from a great calamity.
कहा संकट से बच गए महाप्रभु.
Aji haite ami bali daraiya Jagannath dekhi bana bahire takiya.
I declare that from today on, I will take darshan of Lord Jagannath from outside. So when we will go to Jagannath Puri during our Golden Gauranga retreat, we will see that place, that's from where Mahaprabhu would stand and see, have darshan of Jagannath. So he never went in the inner chambers. At the very fag end of that Jagannath, what do you say?
Hall.
Jagannath, no, not the hall, where the main deities are there. So from there at the other end, from the Garbhagriha, the opposite end is the Bhojan Mandap. So there Mahaprabhu would stand and from there he would have darshan, because he knew otherwise what may happen to him. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So we will meet you all tomorrow morning for sacred morning japa and evening for our Chaitanya Bhagavat. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.